What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest. Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody
the
knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Wait, so we thought the Epstein scandal would only expose Diddy and Jay-Z for their shady dealings? Well, think again, because it's getting even darker. Reports now suggest that many young, up-and-coming actors and actresses were either exploited within the industry or taken to Epstein's island in exchange for career advancement. One of the actors allegedly involved is Bryshere Gray.
I'm very appreciative of the response people are giving, and people saying they love the show, they love the music, and they're feeling very inspired from the characters.
Meet Bryshere Gray, 21-year-old actor and rapper, and is one of the fresh faces on Fox's hit show Empire.
When I was 16 years old, me and my mom would pack up a small Camry car, and we would drive to Michigan, and we'll drive to Wisconsin and stuff like that, and I'll go perform for high schools for free.
It was during the filming of the show that Bryshere began to change for the worse. Allegedly, Terrence Howard and Taraji tried to get him some help, but by then, he was already too far gone. Time and again, industry whistleblowers like Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle have revealed the high price that gatekeepers demand from entertainers. In fact, Chappelle even shared how he had to leave the country after being offered a $50 million deal, because he had witnessed what happened to other actors who accepted such offers and realized he could be next.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy, they're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. Newsweek. It's a very credible magazine. And they're saying, maybe I smoke crack, and it was all innuendo. And the magazine is credible as Newsweek. I was very surprised that this was happening. And the higher up I go, for some reason,
people say that he lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
The topic of Bryshere has been coming up a lot lately, mainly because there are numerous gaps in his story that no one has clarified. Some argue that Hollywood isn't to blame, claiming that Bryshere was reportedly struggling with mental health issues even before landing the role of Hakeem on Empire. They say he was barely holding it together, and had hoped the success of Empire would open new doors for him. However, when the Jussie Smollett scandal hit and the show abruptly ended, Bryshere reportedly couldn't handle it, and everything spiraled out of control. What often gets overlooked is that his breakdown coincided with the end of his mentorship under Will Smith and later Diddy. Jaguar Wright has been outspoken about what happened to Bryshere under Will Smith's guidance, explaining how everyone around him, including his mother, was gradually isolated to make it easier to paint him as crazy and problematic once the mentorship ended. According to Taraji, Jaguar wasn't the only one who raised concerns. When news surfaced that Bryshere had entered a new line of work, actor and choreographer Darren Henson, remember him from the Soul Food series on Showtime, shared that he had warned Bryshere about the dangers of Hollywood. He knew all too well that no one would protect him once he got involved in the industry's chaos. Henson said that when Bryshere was young and innocent, he cautioned him to be careful during his time on Empire, but no one stepped in to help. As Henson put it, people will talk about you on your way up and on your way down. Always protect your own neck. No one else will. Cat Williams echoed this sentiment, recounting how Harvey Weinstein once tried to manipulate him when he was just starting out. The difference between him and Bryshere? He said no, and got out immediately.
Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do?
Taraji reportedly believes that Hollywood's gatekeepers played a major role in Bryshere's downward spiral, and she places much of the blame on Will and Jada Smith. This all began when Bryshere's shady manager, Charlie Mack, introduced him to Will Smith and Diddy as part of a mentorship program. Charlie Mack, who used to handle security for Will Smith, had a relationship with Will that went far beyond professional. It was personal. Will even had a song titled Charlie Mack First Out of the Limo, which shows just how close they were. When Charlie handed Bryshere over to Will and Diddy, the story was that he would climb straight to the top, backed by some of the best in the business. But what no one realized was that this mentorship was actually the last real support Bryshere would receive. Some claim it was a surprise that Bryshere ended up the way he did, but considering the people surrounding him, is it really that shocking? While Diddy was seen as a powerhouse in the industry, there have long been rumors about his behavior toward men, and how he used power and influence to assert control. Wendy Williams even spoke about it for years, until reportedly, Diddy had her fired from Hot 97 for getting too close to the truth.
Did you get fired for making fun of Puffy?
Yeah, by Hot 97. I had to fight a lawsuit. You know what it all came down to? It
came down to gay rappers. That's what it was.
Gay rappers and exposing. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Wendy. And she was on the radio talking all this way back in the day. I've been telling you things for years, but you don't want to hear. So, all right, fine. And I don't understand parents who unleash their kids. Oh, it's just a deeply moving story to me, because I know.
By the time Bryshere was brought to Diddy, he was already under federal investigation for having relationships with underage boys. However, the story never made headlines, as Diddy reportedly had the influence to bury it.
And so you seen the orgies, you seen the people that was the stars, and the shit that they was doing, and the smells and the looks in their eyes.
Just as Diddy was able to buy the silence of the media and those around him, he reportedly brought Bryshere's mother over to his side in the same way.
But I uncovered some research that he linked up with Will Smith's manager back in the day from Philly. Yes. And that really started his progress. But how do you know as a mother if your child is linking up with the right people, or when you should keep them close or let them go?
Well, we're close. We're a close-knit family. I brought his manager on to help get him to where he is, but I managed him first, and artists developed him, and then we got a call through his manager asking if they had anyone that would want to audition for the role. Once he auditioned, he took off from there. That was it.
Jaguar Wright revealed that Bryshere's mother, Andrea, had been concerned about her son and reached out to her for advice. Jaguar warned her to distance herself from Charlie Mack and Will Smith, but Andrea suddenly backed down and allowed them to control Bryshere for several more years, until there was nothing left of him.
Saw what Charlie Mack and them were doing. He knew they were taking those young boys to Diddy. They all knew.
And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear what Will's former friend, Brother Below, has to say. He claimed that Charlie Mack wasn't just Will Smith's friend. He also knew that the two had been intimate on several occasions. Brother Below added that Will had involved Dwayne Martin, essentially making him his boy toy. And this was the environment that Bryshere was brought into.
Somebody stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad. Jada would watch at the houses. She had her laptop. She would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. And she could play whatever video she watching. So I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of other, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm gonna let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm gonna sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do, period. And I gotta have evidence. So she's sitting down here watching, playing with herself, high as a kite, right? not caring who's in the house, whether kids watching, nothing. She's in her own world. So that's how I was able to see the tapes. I saw them, and I saw some things that were unreal, and I saw celebrities on the tape.
Ooh.
I'm under penalty of perjury. If anything in here is a lie, my ass going to jail, period. There's no if, there's no ends.
According to Taraji, what Bryshere went through affected him far more deeply than she could have ever realized. When they first met, Taraji and Bryshere quickly formed a close bond. Since Bryshere was young and eager to learn, she often offered him advice on acting and even brought him food on set, making sure he knew she was there to support him.
Makes mac and cheese, 3 cheese mac and cheese, and brings it to set. Is that true?
Sometimes she do bring food.
So she brings food to the set?
But me personally, for me, her meatloaf is the best.
She brings meatloaf to set?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
what else? Wait, so she's like the real mom on set?
She's like a real mother, you know? It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, learn from Taraji and Terrence, and they're the best in the game, so
yeah.
You know, it's improving my acting skills as well.
During her time on Empire, Taraji was busy with other roles, so it took her a while to realize that Bryshere had started to spiral. And it wasn't just from the pressures of being a young star in Hollywood. According to sources, Taraji was still among the first to reach out to Bryshere, and may have even contacted his mother, Andrea, to try to help. However, Andrea reportedly viewed her son as already gone, and seemed satisfied with portraying Bryshere as ill, rather than actively helping him. What Taraji later came to understand is that Bryshere didn't lose his footing on his own. He was locked into contracts, mentorships, and relationships that left him with little room to protect himself or speak freely. With everyone around him controlling the narrative, Taraji's hands were tied. She couldn't support him privately, and once the machine decided how he would be labeled, there was only so much she could do.
I felt like the industry was pitting us against each other. Like only one could win at a time. And I always believed that the core of my being is that there's always room for us all. There's room for us to coexist on this earth. So why isn't there enough stories? We have enough stories to tell.
The internet seems to agree with Taraji, especially now that the Epstein files are out. At this point, you really can't put anything past some of these celebrities. Jaguar Wright has never lied. She always speaks the truth. Many young actors and actresses don't have protective parents. They have parents willing to accept money in exchange for their child's innocence. Truly sick. Bryshere wasn't always this way. He had no mental health issues before he was brought into that environment. So, what do you think about all of this? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Bulletin Celebrity.